Hi, so we're going to talk about the DInject dependency injection library and the background for it. So it's a annotation processor, so it generates source code to do the dependency injection. There's no class path scanning or reflection or dynamic proxies, and we're moving the DI cost to build time. So this is very much like Dagger, but orientated towards server-side use, so with lifecycle support, factoring bean, so that's similar to Spring and Micronaut, and ultimately the ability to get all the controllers or get all the web routes and register them with web frameworks like Javelin, Spark Java, Rapidoid, those sorts of things. Motivation, we're moving towards a more of a Kubernetes Docker containers world where we talk about server density, and we effectively pay for all the memory we use and all the CPU we use. So we care about server density and being able to deploy our services into shared resources. So having been here and got the t-shirt, we might have noticed a few things. So here's a chart which is showing us startup times. And firstly, if I go down here and it's no limits area, there's really no problem on my laptop. 8 core, 32 gig of RAM, and I'm starting up my application here in 5-6 seconds. So no problem. The problem is when we want to try and reduce the amount of resources we give this application. So my experimentation led me to sort of testing out how this goes. It's half a CPU and 100 meg of total memory. And what this sort of led me to is the question of, can the JVM work with this, or have I got a problem with frameworks or the techniques that are used? And where this goes to is that things like Rapidoid don't really have a problem down here, and in fact the problem is not really with the JVM. Problem is actually more with the techniques that we've been sort of using over the last few years that are quite hungry in terms of CPU and memory and result in quite slow startup times. And these are resource constrained environments. So then we have problems with auto scaling, slow rollouts, and problems basically with CI type scenarios. So that's the motivation for looking at these techniques and whether we should change the way we do dependency injection. Right now I'll go on to actually some code, but I'll do that in a different video. So hopefully go and have a look at that one. Cheers.